Hey folks, how's everybody? I found a great deal on a brand new whiteboard. It's remarkable.
Wow, I bet it is.
I know. I wanted to let you guys know that I have a Polish friend who is a sound engineer. I have a Czech one too. It was nice out the other day, so I took a walk down by the river. I noticed a guy sitting on the bank of the river with a fishing pole, but every time someone walked by, he would ask people questions like, "Do you like my shirt? What do you think of my shoes?" Things like that. Then I realized he was fishing for compliments.
Yeah.
Right. And finally, if an assassin recorded a song, I'm sure it would be a hit, man. But enough of this chili mac. Let's get this show going.
Well, Bearly. I mean, you know about the drummer that named his daughters Anna 1, Anna 2.
I've heard that.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
A couple of times.
Well, greetings and Moobarkfluff to all the creatures in the Podiverse. I am Bearly, and you are listening to Bearly Furcasting featuring Taebyn, the show that asks the question, is a hot dog a sandwich?
Depends on what kind of bread you use.
I suppose.
And it depends on if you cut the hot dog in half or not.
See, that is the question. So we could have an entire episode devoted to that. Rain, TikTok, and Cheetaro are all here and putting up with this nonsense. Moobarkfluff, and how are all of you?
Moobarkfluff, I'm doing great.
Yeah,
Moobarkfluff doing wonderful.
Awesome. Ziggy couldn't make it tonight due to work, but what if Taebyn? Will he appear soon? We don't know. Oh, there he is. Taebyn.
Hello.
Are you flufftacular this evening?
I feel that way, yes, and thanks for asking. Are you
Okay.
flufftacular this evening?
I am fluff something, yes.
Yay. And how
Yes.
are the rest of you flufftacular stuff things?
Doing great.
Well, they can't
Extra
answer.
fluffy.
Flufftacular, yes.
Flufftacular.
Oh, flufftac. And I think Jesse is flufftacular for Time for Walk.
Mm-hmm.
And how you should fluff about English. I have a note here that actually originated on the February 15th, 2024 recording. So we've been saying that for over 2 years.
Wow.
I've been saying it for over 2 years.
It's on a
anyway.
T-shirt now, too. So
Yeah.
Oh, is it?
yeah, it is.
If it's on a t-shirt, it's totally famous now.
Yeah, and
Yes.
of course, no one's bought anything from our Dashery site, but it is on a T-shirt. So
It is it's
Yeah.
an official thing.
Well, I would have
Okay,
bought
okay.
something, but I don't think they ship to here. So
well, and even
Chile
if
is
they
a
did, it
little
would
bit
probably
far
take
away.
8 months to get there.
yes. By the way, I'm glad you all got my postcards.
Postcards?
So,
It only
yeah,
took 5 months to get here, yeah.
5 months, yeah. Super fast service.
Yeah.
Did
So
you say that your mom was going to then get her Christmas card on like her birthday?
No. My Christmas card will be here. She sent my Christmas card out on my birthday, which should be here like in April.
Okay.
okay, so I figure I'll
Okay.
send you my Christmas card in June. That way you should get it right around Christmas
Right
time.
around Christmas
Just
time.
about, yes.
We've got to plan these things very carefully.
Very
you see.
carefully,
Yes.
very carefully. All right. So Taebyn, is there anything you don't understand before we get into the episode proper?
Well, I don't know what the episode proper is, but I don't think it's this one.
Definitely not.
I don't know. Well, something I don't know. Who is Peter Dinklage?
Who is Peter? You don't know who Peter Dinklage
Oh
is?
my
I
gosh.
do not
goodness.
know who Peter
Oh,
Dinklage
no.
is.
He's been in
How could-
everything.
He's been in Underdog. He was Simon Bar Sinister in
Mhm.
Underdog, the movie.
And Game of
Mm.
Thrones.
Game of
And
Thrones. He was in a couple of holiday movies with. He was in Elf.
Oh, yeah.
he was also in one of the Thor movies.
Yep.
Actually, I think a couple of the Thor movies now.
Was he
Yeah.
in a movie with Burt Reynolds?
No,
No.
How about Shirley Temple?
no,
No.
Oh, maybe
no.
that's why I don't know him then.
maybe,
Oh.
maybe. But
So
you shouldn't know
is
them
he
either.
one of those that has like one of those faces like you just know like, oh yeah, I know who that is.
Yes.
Pretty
Yes.
much.
Okay.
Yeah.
Plus, I think he's about 3.5 feet tall.
yeah.
Yeah.
He's a little person.
Oh, that one. I know.
Ah,
who that one
I saw the
is.
light come on over
Yes.
your head there
Fluff,
all of a
yes,
sudden. Yes.
Okay.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have
yes.
comprehension.
We have comprehension.
Puppy comprehension is happening. I feel like very productive all of a sudden.
I was going to say pup-rehension, but that doesn't
Pup-rehension.
sound right. I see.
We'll try it. We'll keep
we'll try
trying. Maybe we'll get there.
We'll workshop
Okay.
that. Yes.
Okay. So under the past today, last episode, Rain, you had a throwaway comment that you got banned from Reddit. How the
Yeah.
heck did a cute raccoon get banned from Reddit?
Well, political discourse or the lack thereof. So, yeah, Reddit is not the best place to discuss anything because
No.
anything you say will set off some moderator and you will get banned for 3 days and then 7 days and then longer. So I made a comment about how after the Trump admin had the rainbow flag removed from Stonewall, protesters had put it back up.
Okay.
And I said that we should keep putting it back up every time they take it down. And if that didn't work, maybe bricks needed to be thrown again. And that got me banned. And I didn't say thrown at people. I just said thrown.
Was that a permanent ban or just temporary?
Well, it was permanent enough that I deleted my account in rage because there were people on there that actually called for physical violence against other people, but apparently it's kind of one of those. It's not what you say, it's who you know type of things. I think certain people get away with a lot more on there because they happen to know the moderators or they're buddies with the moderators.
Hey, well, talk about your snowflakes. Holy crap. Okay.
Yeah. Wow.
Well, with that, let's get a little zen and listen to some formations.
Yeah, I could use that.
Taebyn.
It's a little off there. Yes. So, for all you furs that might or might not know, for a while now we've been doing this segment on the show called Formations, affirmations to help you along your beautiful, wonderful life. And these days, i.e. started a few weeks ago, these are called positive vibes. And on each of these cards, there's a little doggy that has something good to say.
Aww.
So,
Yay.
Yay.
Woof, woof.
Yay, woofy dogs.
Yay, woofy dog. So this first one, there's a golden retriever. And he says, every step I take is a step towards a calmer, happier me.
Oh.
And on the back of every boop,
Boop-a-doop boop.
also on the back of every card is
On the box.
On the back of every boop, there's a card.
there it is.
Yes.
There's definitely a card on this back of this boop-de-doop. I don't even know what's going on. On the back of this card, it says daily walks. Just like a dog needs regular walks to stay happy and healthy, so do you. Commit to a daily 10-minute walk, letting the rhythmic steps calm your mind and strengthen your body.
Yes. I do that most of the time because I don't have a car.
It's true that you are.
Well,
kind
it
of
helps being in a walkable city, though. So, yeah. Sure.
That makes it so that you are stuck with positive vibes.
Yes, I get the positive vibes. Sometimes my positives hurt so much that they vibe, but
Indeed.
so much walking.
So much. And this next one, there's a little dachshund that says, I wrap myself in comfort and security.
Oh, woo.
And on the back, it says, create a comfort corner. Designate a special space in your home where you can retreat when you need comfort.
I like that.
Yeah, that is nice. That is nice.
Good.
And on this other one, there's a nice husky that says, I am present in the now, at peace with my surroundings.
Oh, woo.
And on the back, it talks about a mindful minute. Set aside 1 minute each hour to focus solely on your breath. Inhale deeply, hold for a few seconds, and exhale slowly. And the awareness continues. And now it ends for this week.
Okay. So much for the awooiness.
Yes.
Awoo-ness.
Tell me more about this
Awoo-ness.
beautiful husky, though.
Right?
It's a pretty
Yes.
nice husky right there.
How fluffy is he?
It's pretty fluff. He's wearing a
How's the curl?
bandana.
A
Ooh,
bandana.
what color?
It's only a bust. I don't see the curl.
Okay.
Oh.
We can just pretend it's a pretty good curl.
Okay.
Pretty good curl. It's a pretty good curl.
It's a pretty good
Yeah.
curl. Yeah.
All right. Well, that takes us up to our media section. Okay. Well, some of us got our headphones off in time. Okay. So I watched a few movies since our last recording. I watched Anaconda with Jack Black and Paul
Oh
Rudd.
my.
Oh, awesome.
I have to say it was pretty good. It had action in the Jack Black fashion and gross humor. So in typical that.
Jack Black fashion. Yes.
Yes. Also watched Pillion with Alexander
Pillion.
Skarsgård. I didn't watch it with him. He was in it.
Okay.
And Harry Melling. It's an artsy gay movie with BDSM and slave sub underpinnings. And it's worth a watch. Now, I know most of the listeners will not know what a pillion is.
I
know
have
there's-
no idea what a pillion is.
And I know that there's two in this group besides me that should know what it is.
Oh.
Okay.
I think I do.
Does Cheetaro, do
do.
you know what it is?
I think I do.
Okay, what do you think it is?
I believe that it is the thing where you get tied onto.
That is incorrect.
Oh.
Taebyn, do you have a guess as to what a pillion is?
Isn't it that stuff that like after you put like a big fluffy blanket with the other things in the dryer and then all the other things get the little pillions on it from the big fluffy blanket?
That could actually be a good description of what a pillion is. But
Okay.
no. TikTok, why don't you tell all our listeners what a pillion actually is?
When you have a motorcycle and you want to have a rider on the back, you can install a pillion, which helps them not come off the motorcycle.
Yes. And
That's kind of specific.
It's very specific. And it's also what is referred to as the person on the back. But if you don't want to call them the biker
back
bitch
person.
on the back, you call them a pillion. That's actually who's sitting on the back of your motorcycle is your pillion. The basis of this movie, of course, is that Harry Melling is the pillion for Alexander Skarsgård. And he's their slave. One of the funniest scenes was
kind of lucky. Alexander's kind of hot.
He is. He brings him home, and Harry Melling standing there, and he says, "I'm going to show you where everything is in the kitchen, and you can get dinner started." And that was their first date. He made him cook him dinner. So that was, so
nice.
Then
what
I watched.
Did you cook him?
They didn't show it. So,
missing some plot.
I know that had nothing to do with the plot, other than the fact that he was being the sub. So
I see.
I watched a movie called Fackham Hall, which it's Fackham Hall.
Okay,
which it's on HBO.
Should we bleep that?
No.
Oh, okay.
It's kind of like Airplane-esque humor meets Downton Abbey.
Okay.
Oh.
Interesting.
Had
Does
some
that
funny
mean they're
bits.
British?
Yes, very much.
Oh, awesome.
It had some funny bits, but mostly the humor was more juvenile than laugh out loud funny. And I was like, oh, that's cute. Oh, that's a cute little aside that they did. And so, there you go. And lastly, I watched Tron Ares, which starred Jared Leto, best known for climbing the Empire State Building. Now, I won't say that he's a bad actor, quote unquote, but this role was perfect for him as he didn't take much acting.
He's pretty much becoming persona non grata in Hollywood. I think probably the last movie he's going to make is the new Masters of the Universe, because everything he's been in lately has lost studios money big time.
Yeah,
he's like the death note of a movie.
He's fairly good looking, but in an ugly sort of way. I guess that's the only way to describe him. I mean, he's so ugly, he's cute.
He's going to be Skeletor in Masters of the Universe.
That's a good
so
role for him.
He's covered behind a mask, so hopefully it won't ruin Masters of the Universe. I really want this one to be good.
Now, and of course, Ares had a couple of big actors in it. It had Jeff Bridges in it, of course, and Gillian Anderson, who you might remember was Scully on the X-Files. And it has Evan Peters in the main adversarial role of Dillinger, because they brought back the Dillinger role in Ares. So
Dillinger rolled down the hill.
he did, yeah. I didn't have high hopes for this movie, and it surprised me that it was slightly above my expectations.
Oof.
No,
Yeah, I
Just-
haven't watched it because
just
I don't want to
slightly.
ruin.
And
I
it's
want
in
to ruin
my
Tron 1 and
list.
2.
Yeah, it's in my list to watch, but
Yeah.
but it's kind of interesting. I heard that Bruce Boxleitner is not in this movie at all.
He's not. No.
No,
And-
they
yeah.
pretty much cut out all of the stuff from the second Tron movie. It has nothing to do with that, and it's like that never happened.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
It was just weird.
Yeah.
And then I finished Eureka.
Eureka!
Yay.
I have to say, seasons 4 and 5 were. It was
Mm,
obvious
fair.
by the middle of season 4 that several of the actors were tired of playing their roles in this show, and they were just kind of phoning it in.
Oh,
So,
no.
Yeah.
Oh, my.
Yeah.
There were a couple that were really, and I think that's kind of why they switched their focus more towards Fargo and a lot of his exploits, is because the main actors were just like they were done.
They were done. They were
Yeah.
just, it was a little too cheesy at the end also. So
Yeah.
I mean, I'm keeping up on,
But
of
the
course.
crossover with Warehouse 13 was good.
Yeah, and the crossover that Warehouse 13 came to them was
Yes.
good also. So I've been keeping up on RuPaul Drag Race and started watching the new release of Starfleet Academy, which I'll talk to a little bit in a little bit here. Started watching or keeping up on the new episodes of Monarch Legacy of Monsters. I talked about them several months ago. And the new Georgie and Mandy's First Marriage episodes are coming out, and Ghosts are coming out. So I've been keeping up on those shows. Rain, what have you been media-ing?
I've been watching Starfleet Academy, and the latest episode, 300 Night, I really thought was good. I'm kind of looking forward to seeing how that plays out. They brought back another plot device from Voyager, which I thought was really cool. So the Omega particle, although this one's a synthetic Omega particle called Omega 47, which is an inside Star Trek joke. Everybody knows there's 47s everywhere in Star Trek.
Are there?
It's because of the Okudas, the ones that make the
Okudas?
computer interfaces. They put 47 just about everywhere for some reason.
Yes. Now I have to say, Starfleet Academy. I was, until this last episode, which is called 300th Night. I was going to give up on it because all it was to me was Glee without the singing. It was just a high school just a high school drama type thing, and it was just like, oh, come on, get over it. I don't want to see these teenagers, quote unquote, in high school in space. So
well, yeah. So Jonathan Frakes directed 300th Night.
That would explain all the God shots.
Yeah, and well, he also said, hey, you guys really need to chill on the hating on Starfleet Academy, because the first season of Next Generation was horrible too. He says it takes a while for these characters to get their feet underneath them, and you really need to give them some grace, because it does take a while to set the story up for the big stuff.
Can you give them some Frankie too?
Yes, sure.
Some Grace and Frankie.
Just a little.
I read what Jonathan Frakes said, and he said that in this day and age of social media, things are flying faster than they could ever, because back in the day of Next Gen, it was all done via mail.
Yeah.
Right. Yes.
Really?
And so people couldn't, be upset quickly after.
But the ratings for TNG were pretty bad on the first season. And there was some.
Well, I mean, come on, the pilot for TNG was awful.
It was bad.
Oh,
it was
terrible. It was so bad.
The only bad news I have from Star Trek really is that there is now no longer any active productions of the Star Trek properties. All active productions have been shut down, and we don't know if they're going to restart them, because it depends, I think, how well Academy does during the next season, and how well the finales of Strange New World go. So yeah, they've done the second season of Academy already. It's already in the can. They're editing it right now. So same with Strange New Worlds. It should be starting up here, I think, in a couple months. So yeah,
I think it comes out in June.
Yeah, it's kind of a scary time if you're a Star Trek fan, because it could be decades before we get more new Trek.
They should probably like do crossovers, like Bambi goes to space and meets Picard, and I mean, I don't know, just let your imagination run wild, I guess.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I understand that Starfleet Academy is trying to set us up for new characters to move forward in the Star Trek universe.
It takes time to do that.
It takes time to do that. You know, not like in the old days when a show would come out on Saturday night at 7:00, and then you didn't get another episode until a week later.
True.
One of the other things I'd seen, I think somebody on one of the groups on Facebook say, was that one of the reasons they've gone so far forward also is because technology is catching up at such a fast rate that the stuff from what we consider the TNG era and Voyager and Deep Space Nine, all that stuff seems so dated now and seems so like just every day. So they're trying to go for a more, more optimistic, future-y kind of vibe.
Yeah, I guess I read this one blurb about the fact of they talked about Benjamin Sisko on Star Trek Academy.
That was a good episode. Yeah.
Avery Brooks was not very happy about that because according to his contract, he was eventually supposed to be brought back, but they kind of killed him off.
Well, he's not killed off, and he actually did give the when you heard Sisko talking in that episode, it was actually Avery Brooks saying new lines for that. So, yes,
of course,
and Jake was in the episode too.
Yeah, but of course, Avery Brooks went a little wacko in his personal life too. So that's kind of why
there's some other issues there.
So he went a little off the deep end. But anyway, all right. So enough Star Trek talk. TikTok, what have you been watching?
Let's see. One thing to circle back on real quick. The thing that Cheetaro was looking for was a pillory, not a pillion. That's the wooden post. Yeah, that's the wooden post. Yeah.
Okay.
But as far as my meeting,
CEO earned.
Yes, ding ding.
Passed today in the same episode.
Yes.
Wow, awesome.
But anyway, so for my end, it's the usual Jeopardy and RuPaul. Saw a documentary on Richard Pryor. It was interesting, kind of a general overview of his life and career.
He's an interesting cat.
Yes. Yeah. Yes, he is.
Yeah.
Especially after the fire.
Yes. Yeah. And it didn't really slow him down nearly as much as I thought it did. Yeah, he was partying pretty hard after a little bit of a reflection. Also, we saw a few episodes of Anthony Bourdain's No Reservations. I've seen most of his later series, Parts Unknown, but I didn't know about this one, which began around 2005. It's less polished, more gritty, far more F-bombs, drinking and smoking. And it's kind of has more of a...
I'm here for that.
Yeah, surreal feel overall. Let's see, we covered Paris, Sicily, Vegas, New Zealand, Japan, Beirut, which was pretty wild because they actually got attacked by Israelis. Or like the city of Beirut got was that war at the time. And then also we did the Chile one, so Ziggy would be proud. And they featured a completo.
Completos are amazing.
Yes.
Yes. If you haven't had one, a completo italiano is so good.
Muy bien.
So much avocado, mayonnaise, tomatoes, sauerkraut, everything on it.
He was only able to eat half of his. I mean,
what a wimp.
There's a lot of disgusting things there.
It's actually quite good, Taebyn. I made one at home.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Although mine was smaller, sad, but
sad. All right, Cheetaro, what have you been watching?
Well, the past couple of weeks, we've watched a fair number of things. The first was Red Notice with Dwayne Johnson, Ryan Reynolds, and Gal Gadot.
Yes.
That was really good. It's basically the equivalent of being on the most wanted list, but globally, for Interpol, so to speak. I did not know that before I watched this movie, so they actually explain that in the very beginning of this whole entire movie. But it was really good. I really like the fact that Ryan Reynolds actually plays an art thief, and Dwayne Johnson is a quote unquote profiler for the FBI, and they end up getting paired together for an interesting heist of Egyptian artifacts. But I love the scene that when they were in the Russian prison, because they were sitting there and talking about each other, and all of a sudden, Ryan Reynolds' character stands up and says, "Attention, attention, everybody! This man right here is not a cop. He's an FBI profiler that's like a cop, but it's not really a cop." And and then there was a fight had happened, and it was rather funny. The whole entire movie is rather interesting because even though there's guns and people shooting at each other and stuff like that, you don't see any blood, you don't see anybody die, and it's just a rather interesting movie.
And it's basically Ryan, Gal, and Dwayne. and Dwayne, like stabbing each other in the back, metaphorically, through the entire movie. It's brilliant.
It's awesome. I love the part when they finally at the end they start going down this spiral staircase, and as Ryan Reynolds' character is singing the theme of Indiana Jones, and then they go into the thing, and it's like all the boxes that are in there, according to IMDb's trivia, were all boxes that were used in Indiana Jones, the original movie. And so it was like rather funny to hear that whole thing. It was really awesome. But we also watched an anime that is called, and excuse me because these are long names, it is called The Daily Life of the Immortal King. It's about this kid who is all powerful, and he's trying to act like just a normal kid in a normal life. And there's things that happen where, his parents put this thing on his back of his head to keep his powers at bay, so to speak. And he's going to this special school, and everybody's like, "Oh, he's just this boring person." But he's sitting behind the scenes doing various things and stuff like that. It's a really good anime, and thank you to Crunchyroll for recommending it to us, because it's really actually a pretty good series.
Nice.
We also watched this movie from 2022 that's called Prey. And it's prey as in, animal prey, not prey like, oh my God, to Jesus, so to speak. It's part of the Predator movie saga.
Okay.
Now, this is set in the 1700s, and it centers around the Comanche Nation.
Oh.
It's interesting because the main character is a female, number one, and in the day, females were only supposed to be cooks and preparers and washing of clothes and things of that nature, right? But yet this person, she wanted to actually be a hunter and go out there and hunt things. And so she ended up finding, this predator that came to Earth and started stalking them and stuff like that. And it was a rather interesting thing that ended up happening. But I recommend the movie. It was one, you do end up seeing the predator get killed at the end, but they did a very good job of integrating Native American things into this movie. It was rather interesting, to be honest. Then we watched, and please don't laugh, but we watched Paw Patrol the movie and Paw Patrol the Mighty movie.
Okay.
We watched them one after another. I have to say Chase and Marshall are my favorites. Chase is the police dog and Marshall is the fire dog, so to speak. But the Paw Patrol movie introduced a new character named Liberty, and they basically had lots of things that went on and stuff like that. They had to keep peace in the city and stuff like that. But in the Mighty movie, they actually find these crystals from, outer space that get brought to Earth, and these crystals end up giving all the pups supernatural powers. And so each one of the pups got a special ability, and it was rather fun to watch. So if you like Paw Patrol, then you should watch these movies because they're really excellent, in all honesty. And then Pink Lemonade and I started watching, or I should say, started rewatching Peacemaker. It's a DC comic series with John Cena. Now, last year at the end of summer, there was a second season, and so whenever we start watching another season, it's like, okay, we've watched so many things. Do we remember what happened? And it's like, no. Okay, let's watch it from the beginning, you know? And it's a rather interesting series, you know, because the very first episode kind of like does a recap of why they're doing this series. And it's based on Suicide Squad, the movie. And they basically talk about what happened during that movie and stuff like that. And it's rather an interesting series because they introduce Peacemaker's father, and he is this let's just say that he is an exorbitant, bigoted racist.
Yes.
You know?
Yes.
And so it's a rather interesting concoction of how they end up doing this series. But we're totally looking forward to the second season. It's interesting when you rewatch a series and you go, I don't remember that. Because that's what's going on right now. So, but it's I would recommend watching it for anybody who is a DC comic fan, because you know they do a great job. There's this one section where John Cena is going, or Peacemaker is going to see his father, and there's this guy doing yard work, and they're complaining about Batman's gardener and stuff like that. It's like really hilarious. Yeah. In addition to watching movies, I actually played a game on my Xbox. Again, don't laugh at me. Disney Dreamlight Valley.
Okay.
It's a Disney movie integration of a thing, and I actually finished the main storyline. Now, the interesting part is that this game actually, I did not expect this, but it's something that I talk about all the time with my friends who are younger than I. They say, how is it that you remain to be older and so youth-minded and stuff? It's like, because I don't get rid of my imagination. My imagination is always with me, and this game basically is exactly that. It's a game about your character getting older and forgetting what happened in their past and putting it behind them, and they basically tear you into two pieces, one who gets older and one who stays a kid, and they're fighting against each other, and then you end up repairing that rift and ending the game. Well, ending the main part of the game, but it continues on to do other stuff. But it's a really fun thing, and and not to say that I recommend playing this game, but the story aspect of it is, in all honesty, everybody who is older tends to have lost their imaginations and forgets about things that they did as a kid, and they always complain about the younger people going, hey, you shouldn't be doing that because. And so I think that everybody needs to kind of take a look at themselves and remember how they were as a kid, and don't forget the aspect of that, because moving forward, you're just going to continue to get more adult-ish instead of childish. Hence why I always say I'm 59 years old, but every time I take tests to see what my age is mentally, it's 14. So
nice.
It's kind of a fun thing. But yeah, so that's basically my media-ing that I've done.
Okay. Taebyn, how about you?
Wow, compared to all of you, I'm just going to say nothing.
Oh. Nothing? You haven't watched anything or played any games, really?
Oh, a little bit, but no, I fail in comparison to all of you.
Oh, come on. Okay.
You couldn't have done that bad, Taebyn.
You've been a busy pup then.
Yes, we'll go with that. How's that?
Okay. All right.
Okay.
All right. So, Cheetaro, moving on, do you have a movie review for us?
I do, as a matter of fact, and I have to say, before I actually say what movie it was, I was planning on actually watching another one of the Ice Age movies, to be honest. But as we were going through our list of movies, my partner, Pink Lemonade, said, oh my God, we just have to watch this movie. So he insisted very, very much. And so it is the 2005 movie from streaming on Disney Plus called Chicken Little. As we may or may not know, there is a interesting fable about Chicken Little, screaming, "The sky is falling, the sky is falling,"
yes.
and blah 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 blah. It's kind of like the updated version of The Boy Who Cried Wolf, so to speak. Well, in the story, Chicken Little is a female, but in this movie, for some interesting reason, they made Chicken Little a boy. And I think it's because of Disney's aspect of needing to have a love interest in here. And so they had to have the love interest where Chicken Little has a crush on the ugly duckling. But that's a different story. The interesting part is that this movie, when it starts out, it's rather hilarious because the narrator starts with saying things like, "Once upon a time," and then goes, "Wait, stop. No, you've heard that before. Let's do something else." And then all of a sudden he says, "Let's start with something spectacular." And then all of a sudden they bring up the intro to The Lion King, where it goes, where the sun comes out and
Yes.
that, and it's like, oh wait, no, that's not it. And so then he says, let's start it a totally different way. Well, then they basically show the story of how Chicken Little is ringing the bell and crying to the town and saying, the sky is falling, and you must listen to me, and things of that nature. But the interesting part is that the town doesn't believe him and says, "Oh, you're just being you, and we don't care about you anymore." Blah blah blah. Well, the rest of the movie is him trying to at least prove to his dad that he's not some form of a
Boy Who Cried Wolf.
Boy Who Cried Wolf, yeah, pretty much. And the ironic part is that that some of these people who are playing these voices, like Chicken Little is played by Zach Braff, and his father is played by, believe it or not, Gary Marshall, who was very much into did Happy Days and Vernon and Shirley and Mork and Mindy,
Penny
so on
Marshall's
and so forth.
husband, or ex-husband.
Actually, I think it was her father. Wasn't it father?
Anyway,
Gary
and Penny were married, I believe.
But the thing is that they end up doing this thing where Chicken Little ends up wanting to be kind of like his dad because something happened in school, and he sees all these pictures on the wall of his dad being this happy baseball person and so on and so forth. So he says to his dad, "I want to play baseball." And so he finally gets, says, "Okay, fine," and he goes to play baseball. So he's in the baseball, and the coach will not let him play because they think he's going to be a horrible player. And finally, one day, he ends up getting put on the team, and the ball comes and he swings and miss. Ball comes, swing and miss, and then he's like, "Oh my God, what's going on?" And then he says, "Okay, I'm not going to be a screw up anymore, so to speak. I'm going to do something and make my dad proud." And he closes his eyes, and he ends up getting ready, and the ball comes, he swings, and the ball goes out into the field, and the players or other team are all over the place, and he ends up getting a home run, making everybody happy and forgetting about his thing. A few days later, he's end up celebrating at his room and stuff, and something ends up falling from the sky and hitting him in the head and lands in his room, and it turns out to be an alien spaceship. So he ends up finding out that the sky is falling because of an alien spaceship, and they basically have lots of fun trying to figure out what's going on and getting chased by robots and things of that nature. It's a really fun movie. It has a really great soundtrack, and I kid you not when I say it's got a lot of songs from specifically the 90s. That are very up and coming. But like I said, it had a lot of famous people in it. Like, for example, it was one of Don Knotts' last pieces of movies that he actually worked on before he died. He played a turkey, the mayor turkey. And Patrick Stewart was in it. Amy Sedaris was in it. As a matter of fact, Wallace Shawn was in it. And Catherine O'Hara was in it. O'Hara was in it. And of course, the best of them all was Adam West. He ends up at the very end of everything. They end up making a movie of all of this stuff because the town finally realizes that Chicken Little was not this cuckoo crazy person, and they end up making this movie, Hollywood production. And Adam West is the voice of quote unquote Chicken Little. But they called him Ace because they didn't want to really call him Chicken Little in the movie, so it was rather hilarious.
Which is also funny because that was the name of Batman's dog.
Yeah. And so, needless to say, there's a lot of interesting references to, and as ironic as this is going to sound, a lot of interesting references to Raiders of the Lost Ark. As a matter of fact, there's this one scene where when they're going through this whole mess of Chicken Little complaining, going, "Oh my God, this guy's falling," and they end up having this chaos, and somebody runs into this big water tower. And this water tower is a big, gigantic ball, and the ball comes rolling down the city, and it ends up going down the street and hits a theater. Now, inside the theater, they're actually watching Raiders of the Lost Ark, and the scene is when Harrison Ford is running from that big, gigantic ball, rock,
Oh no!
and the water tower comes right through the building at the same time this rock is coming, and it like flattens the theater and stuff. Like I said, there's all sorts of little interesting Easter eggs in this game, in this
Nice.
movie, not game. Why did I say game? Anyway, so it's really fun. I personally enjoyed it. Yeah, there are a couple of things that are kind of like out there in terms of like not believable in the movie, so to speak. But I think that's unimportant based on the fact that the rest of this movie was fairly good, because the soundtrack, the actors that were in it, the voicing and all that stuff, it made me like the movie. There's actually a sad part in the movie, that I'm not going to talk about. I'm going to let you guys watch the movie and see. But it kept me entertained, and I am giving this 4.5 chirps because it deserves better, but there's just a couple of things for the reason why I couldn't. And like I said, it has to do with some inaccuracies of things. And maybe I'm being too hard on Disney. But so go out and watch Chicken Little on Disney Plus. You guys will be totally entertained.
Yay.
Okay. Taebyn, I see that you made a note here that you remembered something for media.
I did, just that this last round I got first place in the arena in Royal Kingdom.
Oh, very nice.
Oh.
Well,
Congrats.
good for you. Good for you.
So now on.
Did you get crowned?
I do get a crown of, so I get you have a little profile thingy of all your achievements, and one of them is now I have number of times got first place in arena, and so now that says 1 instead of 0.
Nice. Okay, so that brings us up to our intrepid news reporter, TikTok. What have you got for us?
Let's see. Well, we got a few scoops for you furs this week. First up, the medical drama TV series The Pit, which is based in Pittsburgh, USA, had a recent episode revolving around July 4th weekend. In addition to the various ER emergencies, there was a heat exhaustion patient who was involved in Anthrocon.
Yay.
Yes, I saw the clip. It was actually pretty good.
Yeah, the fursuiter was said to have overheated in the summer weather and was treated at the depicted hospital. Skimmed through the show, it was a decent portrayal of furry who loves the fandom, recommends to the attending doctor that they should check out the convention. It's just a bunch of nice people. But our weasel-eyed informant, Ziggy, pointed out the fursuit on the show is the same as the one used in the German series Next Exit Happiness, which I covered a few months ago. Did a little research into this, and it's the fursuit in question. The original is owned by Revalo Wolf. The design has the dubious distinction of probably being the most copied character in fursuit history.
Yeah.
It's been copied endless times through cheap fursuit importers. Revalo has made public statements requesting people to discourage others from buying these knockoffs, but also to not harass others that have bought them, because the vast majority bought them without knowing that it was a copy.
Yeah.
And so it's a very frustrating situation for Revalo. So, help get the word out when you can. And next up, as furries, we're often large consumers of tech, even if we don't work in tech. As a highly online community, we depend on tech, and many furries that I know personally have very tech-oriented homes and living spaces as well. And we all know too well the process known as enshittification. The term was coined by Cory Doctorow in 2022, although the phenomenon was well known before then. As quoted by Dr. O, a platform will, first, they are good to their users. Then they abuse their users to make things better for their business customers. Finally, they abuse those business customers to claw back all the value for themselves.
Hmm.
Claw.
Hmm.
Mhm.
We see this all the time with platforms like social media, software additions just to change stuff, fee-based services, and then there's Internet of Things, IoT, home
Mhm.
systems, charging subscriptions, car companies requiring extra monthly payments to unlock features on their vehicles.
Mm-hmm.
However, the European Union has taken steps towards preventing this, doing things like forcing Apple to standardize their charging systems to USB-C.
Mm-hmm.
France, in particular, has passed recent legislation for right to repair laws and to prevent forced obsolescence in order to prevent e waste. And in addition, and as said on their website, which we will include in the show notes, the new report, Breaking Free Pathways to a Fair Technological Future, the Norwegian Consumer Council has delved into enshittification and how to resist it.
Oh, good.
Nice.
There's a hilarious video on the website of a proclaimed enshittifier and his family's long tradition of enshittification, which he took to incredible depths with the power of the internet. But as furries, what can we do? I mean, I have like a revulsion to the term app and actually hurt me a little bit just to even say that term. But what do you actually gain from like signing on with every new thing? Does your clothes washer really need to be on the internet? It's using and consuming these mostly useless services adds to this feeding frenzy of enshittification. So consider unplugging a bit, cancel services, and remove phone software you don't need. Sci fi writers such as Derek Bayer have written detailed articles, which we also included in the notes, on disconnecting from an overly plugged in life. So a little step at a time, furs. And quick mention about Oxfurs, the Oxford University Furry Club had a nice article in the Oxford Student, which is, well, their student newspaper. Usual fluffy highlights, a way to express oneself, be social, be artistic, the fun of putting on fur meets, and the challenges of fursuiting. So, bravo to the Oxford furries.
Bravo, furries of Oxford.
Bravo.
Brava,
And
brava.
lastly, the Swiss Broadcasting Corporation reported that the Swiss canton government of Bern responded to a written question from Liberal Green parliamentarian Thomas Bronanen if the Bernese coat of arms should continue his display its bear with its legendary red penis
Mm.
and his body to face left to right position as a symbol of progress.
Well, I know where Bearly stands on this.
Yes. The executive committee soundly rejected both proposals. The bear on the coat of arms of Bern will continue to display its red phallus. The direction in which the animal faces will also remain the same, going from right to left. The committee ruled the bear has been depicted in this fashion and a tradition that goes back 600 years on coins, seals, and government documents. So,
Okay.
barely you can breathe a little sigh of relief if you're planning a trip to Switzerland. No
You can.
mandatory vet visit for you.
Oh,
Yes.
goody. I'm so
You can
happy.
happily waggle your penis wherever you like.
I don't think
Wow.
that's going to be something I'm going to do, but thank you for giving
Okay.
me the permission to do so.
Yes, and that's the news for this week.
Awesome. All right. Well, Taebyn,
Hello.
hello. Would you like to talk about the Good Furry Awards?
I could talk a little bit about that. Any of you first may or may not know that Papa Bear, Ask Papa Bear, hosts the Good Furry Awards and has done since 2019, and the nominations are open again. So, in case you don't know, what is the Good Furry Award? That's a really good question. So, the Good Furry Award is an annual award where furries can nominate and select other fellow furries or a furry. You can actually nominate as many as you want. They want it just recognized for being outstanding in the furry community. So, this is a way to not highlight pop your furs or anything like that. But there's a lot of us furries out there in the community that just really do good things, and it would be nice to highlight and recognize these furries for all they do. And so this is a good way to do it. And that you get, there's awards and everything. Winners receive a handsome trophy and a cash prize of $200 each, which, by the way, Ask Papa Bear, actually, this is his own money. He contributes to this, so this is really great. These days, there are several categories. There is a Lifetime Achievement Award, but besides that, there's the Good Egg Award, which is for furries who do a charitable or other volunteer work. There's the Image Award, which goes to furries who present a positive image in the fandom through media, videos, documentaries, those type of things. And the Furtastic Award, which is basically for furries doing just good works that don't kind of fall into these other categories. Anyway, it's a really great way to just help out and be part of the community and to just highlight the wonderful things that all us furs are out there to do. Nominations close in June, I believe, but you can go to Ask Papa Bear. You can go to unclebearpublishing.com/Good Furry Awards, or just Google, just Good Furry Awards, and it comes up. So all you furs go out there and support your community and the furs that make it so great.
Papa Bear's been doing this for a while, and he's been on the show a couple of times to promote the Good Furry Awards, and we'll put a link to that in our show notes, as well as a link to the nomination form. If you go to the Good Furry Awards, there's a link at the top, but if you click on that link, it says it's an error 404 thing.
Oh.
I reached out to Papa Bear and said, hey, you got a broken link there. But down at the bottom of the website, there's a little tiny blue thing that says click here for making a nomination. So you got to go to that.
Is that what I couldn't find it? Okay, so
Yeah.
Papa Bear, if you listen to this, make your
Yes.
link a little bit more obvious, because I couldn't find it. And also probably Barely, I'm sure you remember at BLFC one year, what was it, 2019? Maybe we helped Papa Bear present
the
his
award.
awards.
Yes, we did. Okay, that takes us up to our Pupcoming events. So starting in April, the 2nd through the 5th in Durham, North Carolina is Bewhiskered. That same weekend in Las Vegas, Nevada is Las Vegas FurCon, where our good friend and podcast person with us today will be there, Taebyn. And Furling Game is taking place in Burlingame, California that same weekend, the 3rd through the 5th. The 3rd through the 7th, that's a long con, is Fantastique in Braun, France. The 8th through the 12th in Schweinfurt, Germany is Spring FurCon. Furcationland 2026 is taking place April 9th through the 12th in Portland, Maine. To Dance 2026 is taking place in Hamm, Germany, April 10th through the 12th. That same weekend in Spencer, Tennessee, the 10th through the 12th of April, is Woods Flock 2026. The Dublin, Ireland one, I mean Hibi Khan, is taking place April 11th through the 12th. Furry Down Under takes place April 17th through the 19th in Suffer's Paradise? How about Surfer's Paradise? Queensland, Australia. Suffer's Paradise probably sounds better.
Well, it depends on how bad you are at surfing, I guess.
That's true. Then you're going to suffer, that's for sure. Forget About It is taking place in Fairfield, New Jersey on April 23rd through 26th. Wild Nights 2026 takes place the 23rd through 28th of April in Wilburton, Oklahoma. Furry Weekend Holland takes place in, guess where? Holland in the Netherlands. Actually, it's in Barlow, Netherlands, in April 24th through the 27th. The 25th through the 26th in Somerset, New Jersey is the bigger one. That's the competing FurCon to Forget About It. Kraz 2026 takes place April 9th through the May 3rd in Boskovice, Czech Republic, where one of my friends that's an engineer is there. And then Ibercon takes place in Madrid, Spain, April 30th through May 3rd. Volley Weekend takes place in Switzerland, April 30th through May 3rd. And that same weekend, April 30th through May 4th, in Suki, British Columbia, Canada, is Camp Fuzz 2026.
Fuzz, kitty cow!
Kitty cow. Okay, Taebyn.
Hello.
We have put off math for several episodes.
Yes.
And I think it is time for you to math us.
Okay, well. So you furs might or might not remember the last time I did a math segment which was season 6, episode 16, I believe. Let me see. Yes. I talked about this really big number called Graham's number. And so let me review that just really quickly. It's like this massively huge number. I'll go back to the episode and you can listen to me talk more about it. But basically, it is a number so large that the observable universe is literally too small to contain a decimal digit representation of it. It's like huge. Even the number of digits in this thing called Graham's number is still too large to be represented in the observable universe. Even that number cannot be represented in the observable universe, and so on. It's like just so massively huge. But what's actually really interesting is that this isn't just a number like, oh, okay, there's this really huge number out there. This is a number that actually arises from counting some geometrical objects. So this is an actual, like, it means something. It's this huge number that is not imaginable. Like, just think about that for a second. You can't even represent it in our universe, literally. Like, you can't. It's just that big. It's unfathomable. Anyway, so that's why I talked about that last time. And then I said next time I talk about math, I would talk about an even bigger number. And so now I will talk about that bigger number. Everyfur say yay!
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 And this number comes from, well, so let me say it really quickly. The Graham's number, I didn't really describe what it comes from because you really need some visuals to see it. It's not hard to construct once you see this sequence, but it's just this. So this other thing comes from a sequence that it's something called the tree sequence. And you do also really need visuals to describe it, so I won't actually go into that, but I'll just tell you something interesting about it. And indeed, actually, you can go on YouTube or whatever and ask for the tree sequence, and they'll start showing you, draw the little pictures and stuff. So let me tell you something about it. So for each integer n, there's a number tree of n. So like there's tree of 1, and tree of 2, and tree of 3, and tree of 4, and tree of 5, and so on and so on. And it's the sequence. And for each element of the sequence, it's constructed in a certain way, and the number that you get from that's the tree sequence. So, for example, it turns out it's not hard to compute tree of 1. It turns out that tree of 1 is 1. Isn't that amazing and exciting?
I am Groot.
Yes.
Amazing.
So, and then you can compute this thing called tree of 2. It turns out that it's not hard to compute tree of 2 is 3. Okay, so we've got the sequence 1, 3. Okay, great.
Okay.
Tree of 3, you would imagine, well, okay, it's just going to be like the number 5 or 7 or 10 or something like that, right? Well,
Sure.
It turns out that tree of 3 has not actually been computed, but a lower bound is known. That is, we know how small it is. Now, this lower bound turns out to be astronomical. This lower bound is even bigger than Graham's number. And in fact, it's so much bigger than Graham's number that it cannot even be imagined how much bigger it is than Graham's number. So we've got 1, 3, then this really huge, crazy number that is literally, you can't even imagine how big it is.
Okay.
So that's unexpected. And just something else that is interesting to think about, it can be proven that, and it has been proven that this number, called tree of 3, is finite. To prove that this number is finite, you can talk about this thing called finite arithmetic. That just means arithmetic where you can write down numbers and symbols and exponents and stuff. So you can actually just write this stuff down. Now, if you were to prove that this number called tree of 3 is finite, using finite arithmetic, it is known that the number of symbols you would need is huge. The number of symbols you would need is a tower of 1,000 2s. Okay, what does that mean? Let me tell you what that means. So for example, 2 squared, 2 to the second power is 4. Are we okay with that?
Sure.
Yes.
That's just 2 times 2. It's 4.
Okay. Yes.
2 to the second power, and that raised to the second power, so that's 3 2s. That's 2 squared is 4, 4 squared is 16. So, okay, we've got 16 now. That's 3 2s. Now, 4 2s. So 2 to the 2, to the 2, to the 2. All of a sudden, we're at 65,536.
Okay.
Okay, now let's do 5 2s, and you can just compute this actually. 2 to the 2, to the 2, to the 2, to the 2, so that's 5 of them. This is a number that has 19,729 digits.
Holy mackerel. Okay.
That got that escalated quickly.
Yeah, right?
Now, okay, so that's 5 2s. Think about 1,000 2s.
Oh my God. Okay. Yeah.
That is the number of symbols you would need to prove that tree of 3 is finite.
Holy mackerel. Okay.
That's a lot. So that gives a really good indication to what we're actually talking about here. And it's just amazing. And so then, of course, that just says that, okay, well, how can we actually prove this then with like writing down things? And this is uses something called transfinite arithmetic, not finite arithmetic. This is where you have to use like levels of infinity and things like that. It's just crazy. So it's crazy to think about. And also remember, these are just like not just big numbers. These are numbers that actually come from counting the number of geometric things that, arise out of a certain construction. So that's just crazy and mind-blowing to think about, and it's just very interesting to see how they come up and used. And I just found out just recently that there has been a number even bigger discovered than tree of 3. Okay. And I haven't even read about that yet, but maybe I'll talk about that sometime.
How did they discover it if they can't imagine it?
I mean, that's a really good question, right? I mean, you can't even... So the thing is, in math, a lot of times, things come about from constructing a sequence of things. Like you just say, add, take this number to the second power or whatever. And you can construct sequences of things. And from that, you get all these big numbers and stuff. And that's actually how tree of 3 and Graham's number came about. And it is just crazy to think that the construction of these things is actually not too bad, but then you just get these amazingly huge numbers, and it's really crazy and stuff. So,
wow. And
so that is my math for the week.
Wow.
Wow.
That's some big math.
That's some big math. Can't even think about it.
So let me pose a question to you about this number. How do mathematicians use these numbers in math, and what do they use them for?
That is also a very good question. I wanted to come up with something before the show that I could say something about that in case someone asks. So thank you, Bearly, for asking, and I'm not ready for that. But
okay.
So these numbers are actually, as I say, and as you were noting, are used in math for things that are of substance and they are used to prove other things and stuff too. So they actually have use. I think maybe either next time or sometime in the next few episodes, I will talk a little bit about that. So this would be a good pass today for next time.
Awesome. Okay.
So Taebyn, could you use tree of 3 to prove how hot 7 of 9 is?
I actually don't think so. That's just beyond us. We're not there yet.
Could we get a mathematician to prove that 6, 7 is a number that should be gone away?
Yes.
Okay.
I think they're working on that using tree of 3 actually.
Awesome.
To do just that. Yes,
perfect.
exactly.
Thank goodness.
Thank
it's
goodness.
about time.
Yes. Okay.
Absolutely.
Well, thank you for that mathematical description.
What is it? That was a lot of fun. That's fun.
Yeah. That takes us up to our plugs. So, our shameless plugs, as we say. One of the other podcasts on our network is the Royal Highness podcast, where the hosts enhance with cannabis products, watch a television show, and then chat about it while they're still enhanced. The podcast releases every Wednesday. They are currently watching the Viking historical docudrama, The Last Kingdom, after having finished Dunk and Egg series on HBO. If you haven't listened to the podcast, you really should, because these two are great podcasters, and they are so funny and so irreverent on the takes they take on these serious shows. It's so much fun. I laugh so hard whenever I'm listening to them to produce it. Now, only if we could get some more listeners other than the 6 we have for that podcast, which is really kind of sad.
Yeah, it is because it's so damn funny. Every time I have to sit in for you and produce, I am in stitches by the end of it. Like I am like crying tears because I'm just like they have cracked me up so many times during that podcast, and it's so good. People go listen to it.
So all you furs, go listen to it. They need more than 6 listeners, and apparently they deserve it.
They totally deserve it. Totally deserve it. Rain, what are you promoting these days?
Well, I'm just promoting 3 Do Who, the monthly Doctor Who podcast, where Bearly, James, and myself discuss all things Doctor Who. The episode coming out at the end of March is all about River Song, and we're talking about Bad Wolf for the April episode. So check it out on YouTube if you like to watch, if you're into listening, Buzzsprout, or your favorite podcatcher. Okay.
And Rain.
Yes.
Has there been or will there be a canine episode?
There has been. It unfortunately it is one of our least watched episodes.
Oh, so all you furs, canine, hello.
Yeah, I happen to be a enjoyer of canine. I find
love
his
canine.
antics hilarious. However, a lot of people find him to be annoying.
What?
Yeah.
Oh my cow.
Well, you have to remember that when K9 came out, the show was primarily focused on the younger generation and children. So they wanted something cutesy for the children. The later iterations of Doctor Who have really more catered to the adult.
Yes,
viewers.
because those kids have since grown up. And they're
Mm-hmm.
And they don't care about a robot dog anymore.
No.
Yeah, unfortunately.
Okay.
Cool.
Okay.
TikTok, how about you? What are you plugging these days?
Yeah, just get the hugs at Furlandia, which leads us up to...
Cheetaro?
Yes.
What are you plugging?
Well, let's see. What should I plug?
I don't think
how
you
about
anything, Cheetaro.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe I don't. But maybe I'll just throw out this little something called Furlandia 2026. We're still taking registrations. They're still $60 per the weekend. Our website is fully immersed in terms of our dealer's den list and the layout for them, as is the artist alley. We have maps of the convention space, so you might want to familiarize yourself with that. But we are going to have a lot of signage for our new space because, well, we don't want anybody to get lost from the 3 floors that we're going to have for Furlandia this year. 3 floors. Yeah. And I also wanted to do 2 reminders. The first we'll talk about is in regards to getting your hotel room. If you want to get it under our hotel room block, go to furlandia.org and go to the hotel section, and it has a link to go to the hotel to reserve your room.
And how much is the hotel room per night in the block?
It should be $175, but of course when you add all the other
Taxes
things that hotel things, and it ends up being like $190 something or other per night because of how that works. But that's kind of where hotels nearer to downtown are. That's still not too bad. Let me just say that I'm looking into an interesting situation because I'm being told that there's only one kind of room available, and that's one with 1 bed. And I need to verify with the hotel that there are no 2 rooms available anymore. But still, go do the link and get your reservation, because let's just say our hotel has 600 rooms in it completely. However, we in our hotel room block have only 500 of those rooms because the rest are slated for other guests that might actually want to show up to our hotel for the weekend that we are. And we're getting very close to being at record numbers of hotel rooms that we have booked. I can't really talk about numbers specific, but I can say that we are breaking all sorts of records in terms of the rooms that we have for
I should make sure I have my hotel room.
Yes, you should.
Yes, Taebyn, you should definitely make sure you have your hotel room.
I think I do, but you're making me nervous, so I think I'll go check.
Yeah.
Don't book
that's
another
probably
one
not
again,
about it.
Taebyn, please.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, if you happen to book another room, just let me know so that I can give it to somebody else in our
Well,
room block.
that
so to
just
speak.
means that Rain and Ziggy have to come because they have a room.
I don't think I'm
Right.
allowed back in the United States anymore.
Especially after you've been banned on Reddit. Yeah.
Right, exactly.
Because Red.
Now I do want to say one more thing to plug for Furlandia, and that is just to reiterate who our guests of honor are going to be.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to have a writer whose name is Kyle Gold, and he has been doing writing for over 25 years in the furry fandom, specifically the gay furry fandom, although he does have one straight furry book that he wrote because he did it on a dare, from what I've been told.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we won't hold that against him.
Yeah. But he and his partner are going to be here for the whole weekend. The other little guest that we have for guest of honor for this lovely occasion is a voice actor from the little tiny show called Beastars, which has just released its final season.
I saw that
on Netflix. Go watch. But Jonah Scott, who voices Legoshi on the English version, is our guest of honor.
Wag. Wag. Oh,
yeah.
I am so glad that you got him because I want to say this because I have to say that if it was not for this podcast, we probably would not have Jonah Scott as our guest. Now, I will say that the ironic part of that is that when I asked for a person to be a voice actor from Beastars, I was actually hoping for Ben Diskin because of the fact that he was on our podcast, and I thought, he would be a good person because I didn't know, what was going to end up happening. And when his agent said, "Oh, I'm so sorry, Ben Diskin is busy that weekend, but I have somebody else if you're interested. How about Jonah Scott?
Would
you be interested in that?" And of course, who would say no, right?
Right. Yeah.
We tried so hard to get Jonah on, but during the time that we were trying, he was booked solid. Like he couldn't take any time to do anything.
If you look at his IMDb profile, you can see how busy he's been because he has so many things that he does, and I'm so happy that he is able to take some time and have some time at our event this year. So I'm proud and happy.
If any of you first want to see me, Taebyn, meet Legoshi, come to Furlandia.
Yeah, I'm sure it's going to be extra special.
Yes.
Taebyn will be wagging so hard that they won't need to turn on the air conditioning in the facility because his tail will just be fanning everybody.
Pretty much.
The last thing I want to say about Furlandia is that go and get your registrations now because, we do not have a cap on our event. But I will say that our numbers are through the roof. Ooh. And I mean, let's just say that we have about an 85% increase from last year at the same moment in time of number of people who have registered, okay?
Wow.
So if that tells you anything, if you really want to be at Furlandia and you want to be a part of the event, as always, the best thing is being at the hotel because you're guaranteed to be able to see all the stuff when you're at the hotel.
And guaranteed
get your room
to
block.
Taebyn sing Weird Al, for example.
Yes.
Or have story time with Taebyn because that's also very important.
Because very important. I love you to say that. Yes.
So all you furs come to Furlandia just for Taebyn's story time and him singing Weird Al. Don't come for anything else. Just come for Taebyn singing. No, I'm kidding. I'm totally kidding.
There, but come on.
Yeah. So, that's pretty much all I have to plug because at the time that this comes out, we're going to have less than 60 days before our convention. Mm-hmm. So
you'll be a little
get
busy.
out there. Yeah. And being a little busy, but not too busy to not do this because I have a day set aside for these things. Awesome. So that's why I'm here.
All right. Yeah. Cool. Taebyn, what have you got to plug?
Oh my cow. Okay, the things. So I have a link tree, linktr.ee/Taebyn, which has a link to all of my stuff. But for example, there's an Instagram, which I don't use much, but I should use it more. But it's Taebyn Pup. I've merch on Fourth Wall, taebyn-shop.fourthwall.com. T-shirt, mugs, stickers, more to come and stuff. I'm hoping to actually sell some of them at Furlandia, but that's a separate story. So I'll be talking to Cheetaro more about that in the future. Of course, make sure to check out my YouTube where there's the crispy chicken saga. Very, very important, of course. And there's that. There's lots of good math videos. I've had furs tell me that they've passed their calculus exams because of my videos, so check those out. Those are fun, but also just fun math videos about movie strips and time bottles and things like that. There's a history of our Bearly Furcasting featuring Taebyn podcast. Put up there recently. That's kind of fun. There's Cooking with Taebyn. You can learn to make ice and how to open things and things like that. Lots of fun things, product reviews, drummings, other fun random stuff, more things to come. So make sure to subscribe and check them out. My next cons are Las Vegas Fur Con. I'll be there. And then, of course, obviously Furlandia. I'll be at May and Anthro Weekend, Utah later this year. I'll be doing my story time with Taebyn. And Taebyn sings Weird Al. I'll have some songs I haven't done yet. So if you've seen my Taebyn sings Weird Al before, there'll be some new things for you. So come check them out. And I have some new, not one, but 2 new Taebyn chip designs. So make sure to grab some of those too.
Get to the chopper! Get to the chopper now!
Was Vindenst.
Well, that sound means we are out of time here at BFFT.
Is that what that is? Okay.
That's what that is. Listeners, we know you have a choice. Actually, it's probably... No, okay, I won't say anything. We know you have a choice in podcasts, and we love that you chose... That's the president landing. No, it's so... So that sounds means... No, what? Okay, I've lost it.
Now I have. It's like Orange Crush or something like that, right?
Okay. We know that you have a choice to listen to podcasts, and we love that. Wow, I can't talk now.
Yeah, we won't do the choppa again.
Want to the choppa. Okay. We love that you listen to our podcast. Remember, you can help support the show on Buzzsprout or through Patreon for as little as $3 a month. If you become a supporter on Buzzsprout for $5 a month, a supporter for $5 a month or more, you will receive early access to the podcast release, which you can listen to on Buzzsprout, which is typically about a week to 10 days before the actual release of the podcast. So, every little bit helps keep the lights on. Or if you listen on YouTube, why not hit that subscribe button? You can send us an email at bearlyfurcasting@gmail.com. And if you use the comment section on the fan mail section of Buzzsprout, be sure to include your contact information so we can respond and maybe reference the episode you are reaching out about. Rain, any parting thoughts?
Well, as always, be kind to yourselves and each other. Moobarkfluff, stay furry.
Awesome. TikTok.
Be all the fluff.
Be all the fluff. Cheetaro.
Make sure you laugh and pay it forward to others, because if we were all laughing, this world would be a better place.
Okay, and because Ziggy's not here, I will say on his behalf, if you see him in Fortnite, do not pew-pew him, because he needs the points. So,
yes. And Pop Goes the Weasel.
Pop goes the weasel. Yes, right.
Don't say the other thing.
No. Thanks to all the staff at Injured Nerves Podcast Network and to all the furs out there, Moobarkfluff and Stay Furry. Taebyn, like all the times before, you have the final words.
Hi. So, yes, I have to say, Spooky Deotter, are you actually still listening all the way to the end? If you are, let us know in the chat. And any of you other furs that listen to this crazy thing we call a podcast, all the way from beginning to end, if you can actually put up with me, that's amazing. So make sure to let us know in the BFFT chat on Telegram, or send email, or respond on the website like Bearly was talking about, and that would be great. So I just have to say thank you. We hope you've had a good time tonight. We sure have. Haven't we had a good time? Yay! Yay! Yeah, it's a good time. And we're still going strong. We are getting close to the end of Season 6 and close to starting Season 7. Oh my cow. That's crazy. So, all you furs...
7 seasons in heaven.
Yes!
Whoa.
So we've got thyme, we've got curry, we've got paprika.
We've got them all.
We've got
salt and pepper.
Coriander.
Salt and pepper, coriander, all the good stuff. So, yeah, thank you for joining us. We can't wait to bark at you next time. So until then, Moobarkfluff, stay furry.
Bearly Furcasting is an Injured Nerve studio production and is found on all major podcast platforms. The Furcast is produced, recorded and directed by Bearly Normal, aka Mike Began, and is edited by Bearly and associate producer Rain Raccoon. Opening and closing theme was created for Injured Nerves Productions for the use on the podcast by Regday with Damian Tanuki. Other interstitial and background music is from Epidemic Sound. Podcast cover art provided by staff artist Buncubus. If you would like to send us a message, you can do so via email at bearlyfurcasting@gmail.com, or on our Telegram chat at BFFT chat, or on the bearlyfurcasting.com webpage. You can help support the show through donations at Buzzsprout or through Patreon at patreon.com/bearlyfurcasting. Be sure to check out our merch at bfft.dashery.com. Thanks for listening. We hope you return to listen again. Moobarkfluff everyone.